If you're over 60, I really need you to hear this. There's a fruit, one you've probably eaten for most of your life, that could be raising your risk of stroke, and you'd never even know it. No warning, no symptoms. You feel fine when you go to bed, and then the next morning, something's off. Maybe your words aren't coming out right. Maybe one side of your body won't move the way it should. That's how it starts. And here's the part that still shocks me, even after decades in neurology. It's not fast food, it's not smoking, it's fruit, something that seems so healthy, so harmless. But as we age, our bodies change in ways most people never talk about. Your liver, your kidneys, your blood vessels, your brain. They all become more sensitive to things like sugar, potassium, even acidity. And when you throw in common meds, slower blood flow, and dehydration at night, that healthy fruit can quietly become a real risk. That's why I'm making this video. Because I've seen too many patients suffer strokes that could have been prevented, if only they knew what I'm about to share. So today, we're going through 6 fruits that might be doing more harm than good, especially if you eat them at the wrong time or in the wrong way. Some of them are going to surprise you. And if this hits close to home, drop a yes in the comments, and make sure you hit subscribe for more no-nonsense, science-backed health tips, especially for your brain and your heart. Let's dive in. 1. Bananas. Let's talk about bananas. I know, it sounds almost silly, right? Bananas are soft, sweet, and one of the most popular fruits around. Most of us grew up with them, and they're often seen as a safe, healthy choice. They're easy to digest and full of nutrients, which is why so many people, especially over 60, include them in their daily routine. But if you're dealing with high blood pressure, heart issues, or blood sugar problems, bananas might not be as harmless as you think. Here's what's important to understand. As bananas ripen, their starch turns into sugar. That's why ripe or spotted bananas taste sweeter. But that sweetness means a much higher glycemic index. For older adults, this can lead to quick blood sugar spikes, which your body can no longer handle as easily. Your kidneys process potassium more slowly. Your insulin response is weaker, and your blood vessels aren't as flexible. So a ripe banana, especially first thing in the morning, delivers a sugar rush, a potassium hit, and stress on your heart, all at once. Take Margaret, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Illinois. Every morning, she blended 2 overripe bananas into her smoothie. One day, she woke up dizzy and slurring her words. Her husband rushed her to the ER, where she was diagnosed with a mild stroke. The bananas weren't the only cause, but the sugar, potassium, and her overnight dehydration all played a part. Now, bananas aren't bad. But after 60, even healthy foods can hit differently. If you enjoy bananas, try smaller portions, maybe half, and pair them with some protein or healthy fat to slow down the sugar. Avoid eating them on an empty stomach. These small tweaks can help protect your heart and brain. And that's what really matters, staying sharp and strong as you age. 2. Grapes. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless. Grapes. They're small, sweet, and easy to snack on. In a salad, with lunch, or while watching TV. Most people see grapes as a healthy treat. And while that's true in moderation, for adults over 60, grapes can actually pose a hidden risk, especially if you have blood sugar issues, high blood pressure, or take daily medications. Here's what many don't realize. Grapes are packed with natural sugars, especially the seedless, extra sweet types sold in most grocery stores. Just a few handfuls can deliver a serious sugar load. And because they're bite-sized, it's easy to overeat them without noticing. For someone younger, the body might handle the spike better. But after 60, insulin response slows and blood vessels become more fragile. This means that sudden sugar spikes don't just lead to energy crashes, they can increase inflammation and even lead to tiny clots forming in your bloodstream. One example that still sticks with me is Evelyn Morris, a 79-year-old retired teacher from Colorado. She had a habit of eating a bowl of grapes every morning with her paper. One day, she started struggling to write a birthday card. She couldn't spell "congratulations," and her hand was shaking. Her daughter rushed her to the ER. It was a mini stroke. The cause? A sugar spike from her daily grapes, combined with undiagnosed prediabetes and silent inflammation. Now, this doesn't mean you have to avoid grapes forever, but it does mean you need to be smart about when and how you eat them. Never eat grapes on an empty stomach, and avoid snacking on them late at night. Your body needs calm, steady blood flow during sleep, not sugar swings. Try combining grapes with some protein or healthy fat like almonds or cheese to slow down the sugar effect. Grapes can still be part of your life, just with a little more care. Because after 60, even the smallest habits can make a big difference in protecting your brain and your future. 3. Pineapple. If grapes surprised you, wait until you hear about pineapple. This tropical fruit looks like a healthy treat, sweet, juicy, and refreshing. But for people over 60, it can quietly become risky, especially when eaten late in the day. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. While this enzyme can help with digestion, it also thins the blood. That may sound harmless, but if you're taking blood thinners or medications that affect clotting, bromelain can increase the risk of internal bleeding, including dangerous brain bleeds. Pineapple is very high in sugar and acid. When eaten at night, especially after dinner, the sugar sits in your bloodstream, putting extra pressure on your heart and blood vessels during sleep, a time when your body is supposed to rest and repair. The acid can also trigger silent acid reflux. Even without feeling heartburn, small amounts of acid can rise into your airway while you sleep, reducing oxygen to your brain. This low oxygen state has been linked to early morning strokes, which often come without warning. Let me tell you about Clara Hughes, a 77-year-old from North Carolina. She thought she was making a smart choice by swapping dessert for fresh pineapple every night. But one morning, she woke up dizzy and had trouble speaking. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she had a small stroke. Her blood sugar was high, her blood was thinner than expected, and signs pointed to overnight acid reflux. The combination made pineapple something she trusted, a hidden risk. If you love pineapple, don't panic. Just eat it earlier in the day, in small amounts, and avoid it at night. And if you're on any blood-thinning meds, talk to your doctor first. Sometimes it's not about what you eat. It's about when and how you eat it. I know this might come as a shock, and maybe even a little scary, to learn that some fruits you thought were completely safe could actually impact your brain health. If you're finding this information helpful and want to take steps to protect yourself from sudden stroke risks, please hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment with the word AWARE if you're serious about your health and want more practical tips from us. Because the more you know, the better you can protect yourself and the people you love. Watermelon. Watermelon is one of those fruits we all think of as the perfect summer snack. It's light, juicy, and feels like the best way to stay hydrated. But here's the twist. For people over 60, especially those on certain medications, watermelon might actually be doing the opposite of what you expect. See, watermelon is a natural diuretic. That means it makes you pee more, flushing fluids out of your body. Now, if you're young and healthy, that's usually no big deal. But for older adults, especially anyone taking water pills or blood pressure meds, this can lead to something more serious. Nighttime dehydration. What most people don't realize is that dehydration doesn't always show up as thirst. It sneaks in slowly, especially overnight when you're not drinking any fluids. And when your body gets too dry, your blood gets thicker. Think of it like syrup instead of water. Slower, heavier, harder to move through your veins. This thickened blood makes it easier for clots to form. And if one of those clots travels to your brain, it can cause a stroke while you sleep. No warning, no symptoms, just a sudden collapse or slurred speech when you wake up. That's exactly what happened to Howard Lynn, an 82-year-old retired postal worker from Indiana. He was active, tried to eat clean, and loved his big bowl of cold watermelon after dinner. It felt like a smart choice. Better than ice cream, right? But one morning, he stood up from bed and collapsed. His wife called 911. At the hospital, doctors found his blood pressure had dropped too low, and his blood had thickened overnight. He had a small stroke, and dehydration played a major role. The combination of his meds and the water-pulling effect of the fruit had pushed his body too far without him even realizing it. So if you enjoy watermelon, don't panic. You don't have to give it up. Just shift when you eat it. Try having it earlier in the day, and don't eat huge portions in the evening. If you're on diuretics or blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor about how much is safe. And if you want to help your body hold on to hydration, pair watermelon with something that has electrolytes, like a pinch of salt or a little coconut water. These small changes can help protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. 5. Oranges. Oranges. They're almost synonymous with good health, right? We've been told for years that their vitamin C content is unbeatable, especially for seniors looking to boost immunity. But here's something many don't realize. Oranges and orange juice carry hidden risks for those over 60. Especially if you're taking medications. It's not just about the sugar in these sweet, tangy fruits, though that does play a role. It's something called furanocoumarins. These are natural compounds found in citrus fruits that can interfere with the way your liver breaks down medicines. Your liver acts like a filter, making sure drugs work properly and don't build up to dangerous levels. When furanocoumarins slow this process, the medicines can linger too long or become too powerful, which can lead to serious side effects, including an increased risk of stroke. Let me tell you about Albert Bryant, a 79-year-old retiree from Georgia who loved starting his day with a big glass of orange juice alongside his morning pills. It seemed harmless, even healthy, but over time, the orange juice interfered with how his liver processed his heart and cholesterol medications. One morning, Albert suddenly had a stroke. Doctors told his family the orange juice had slowed his liver, causing his meds to accumulate in his body, and ultimately leading to dangerous side effects. It was a heartbreaking wake-up call for Albert and his loved ones. This story isn't rare. Many seniors don't know that the very fruit they believe is helping them could actually be putting them at risk. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're taking heart or cholesterol medications, or any drugs your doctor warns you about, avoid mixing them with oranges or orange juice. Instead, talk to your healthcare provider about safer alternatives. Sometimes switching to lemon or lime water is a simple, effective way to keep enjoying citrus flavors without the risk. I want you to feel empowered, not scared. Knowing these details can save your life or the life of someone you love. It's all about small changes that protect your brain and heart while letting you enjoy the fruits you love, safely and smartly. 6. Mango. Finally, let's talk about mango. That soft, juicy, and delicious fruit many of us can't resist. It's sweet, tropical, and feels like a healthy treat, especially when you want to skip sugary snacks. But here's the truth that might surprise you. Mango is one of the fruits highest in sugar. Believe it or not, just 1 cup of mango contains more sugar than a typical donut. For seniors, especially those over 60, this is important to know because that high sugar load can inflame your blood vessels. When blood vessels become inflamed, they narrow and stiffen, making it much easier for clots to form. And clots are one of the main causes of strokes. So, while mango tastes like a natural candy, it can actually increase your stroke risk if you're not careful. But there's more to this story. Mango also contains a compound called mangiferin. It might sound fancy, but what it does is pretty simple. It interferes with liver enzymes responsible for breaking down medications. This means if you're taking common drugs for heart health, blood pressure, or cholesterol, mangiferin can slow down how your body processes these medicines. The result? Medications build up in your system, sometimes to dangerous levels, which can lead to side effects including stroke. This interaction is not well known, which is why many people, even those who believe they're making healthier choices, end up at risk. Let me share a real-life example. William Booker, 83, from Nevada, thought he was making a smart swap. He replaced cookies and sweets with dried mango, thinking it was a healthier option. But after months of eating dried mango daily, William had a mild stroke. Doctors explained that the mangiferin in mango interfered with his medications, causing them to accumulate and contribute to his stroke. His story is a powerful reminder that natural doesn't always mean safe, especially when it comes to fruits and aging bodies. So, what's the takeaway? Mango isn't the enemy, but moderation is key. If you love mango, stick to just a few bites during the day, never eat it before bed, and always check with your doctor if you're on any medications. Your health depends on understanding these hidden risks and making choices that protect your brain and heart every day. I'm sharing this because I care deeply about your well-being, and knowing these facts could save your life or the life of someone you love. Remember, small changes in what you eat can make a huge difference in preventing strokes overnight. Now that we've gone through these 6 surprising fruits, you might be feeling a little unsure about what's truly safe to eat. And that's okay. The truth is, recognizing the risks is the first step in protecting your brain and heart. As we age, even the healthiest habits need a second look. What once helped us might quietly turn harmful, especially when mixed with medications or eaten at the wrong time. But this isn't about fear. It's about being smart. You don't have to stop eating fruit. The key is how and when you eat it. Smaller portions, earlier in the day, paired with protein or healthy fat, and always with your doctor's guidance. These simple changes can go a long way in helping your body stay balanced and strong. If this video helped you think differently about your food choices, please hit that like button and subscribe to Senior Health 365. Drop a comment with the word AWARE so we know you're taking charge of your health and maybe helping someone else too. And if you want more tips backed by real science to protect your brain, heart, and independence, check out our other videos here on Senior Health 365. I'm here to walk this journey with you. Stay informed, stay healthy, and take good care of that amazing brain of yours.